Good morning, students. How do you do? I hope you are fine. So, this is the next chapter in this online series of lecture. The third chapter, that is keeping quiet in the poetry section. Bachcho, now I'm 100% sure that you are now familiar with the style of my teaching. And again, I tell you that I always start with the picture at the top. And here you can see the picture which is at the top is of a globe, and on this globe you can find some people joining their hands together. And when people join their hands together, that means what? They are standing for some cause. Human chain too, we call this type of picture Manav Shrankhala. And when such Manav Shrankhala or human chain is formed, this is formed for a very purpose, that is a common problem. And here the common problem is one has to introspect for destructive things happening around him. So, let us start reading the poem to know what exactly the poet Pablo Neruda wants to talk about. And before I start this poem, let me tell you that keeping quiet has its own importance. As you would have heard that old age proverb that if speech is silver, S-P-E-E-C-H. If speech is silver, then definitely silence, S-I-L-E-N-C-E. If speech is silver, silence is golden, G-O-L-D-E-N, golden. So, bachcho, speech too has its own value, but silence is still more than speech. That's why if speech is silver, silence is golden. So let us begin with, always we start with the poet Pablo Neruda, born in 1904-1973, is the pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reis Basalto, who was born in the town of Parral in Chile. Pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reis Basalto. Bachcho, pen name means what? A name through which a person gets name and fame. Okay? So, Pablo Neruda and the pen name Neftali Ricardo Reis Basalto, who was born in the town of Parral in Chile. And Neruda's poems are full of easily understood images. Bachcho, very, very simple and easily understood images he produces, which make them no less beautiful. That doesn't mean that it appears to be less beautiful. It is equally beautiful. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. He is the only poet in the syllabus of ours who has got Nobel Prize. बच्चों केवल एक ही ये पोएट हैं हमारे सिलेबस में जिन्हें नोबेल प्राइज मिला है लिटरेचर के लिए 1971. ओके, एज हम इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स से अगर बात करें तो लिटरेचर में नोबेल प्राइज रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर को मिला था गीतांजलि के लिए, द सीरीज ऑफ हिज पोएम. नाउ in this poem, Neruda talks about the necessity of quiet introspection and creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. Bachcho, the poem is all about the necessity. Necessity of what? Necessity of quiet introspection. Introspection. Inspection and intro. इंस्पेक्टिंग योर सेल्फ, अंतरात्मा की आवाज को सुनना, दैट इज इंट्रोस्पेक्शन. एंड व्हेन वुड वी इंट्रोस्पेक्ट? when we keep quiet, when we keep silence, when we have a certain time to do introspection. So, bachcho, whenever I am teaching this poem to the students, I always ask them to have a separate hour, have a separate time for yourself to introspect. Think. And after thinking, you will understood that how important or how importance keeping quiet is, and creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. And the poem even talks about the necessity of creating a feeling of mutual understanding. That's why this picture at the top, mutual understanding. Joining the hands together means what? Mutual understanding among human beings. Okay, bachcho? So let us begin with the poem. And before we read poem, we have one question to discuss.